Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, last night, a friend of mine had joined my stream, and he was trying, I guess, to convince me that the Raja Jackson and Syko Stu, I believe that's the wrestler's name, their situation is fake. Like, it's staged. They only did that for clips. And my friend believes that the punches were fake. He believes that, the whole situation was staged. He thinks, overall that they were just doing it to go viral. And that's the thing that I wanted to do for the sake of this episode. I guess if anybody is thinking that this situation between them are fake, it's not. Because there are so many different things that are happening right now, from people talking about the situation. More it's like TMZ, news outlets, stuff like that. A lot of people have donated thousands of dollars to this guy for his medical expenses, and just, I guess, for however long the money is going to last them, because they don't know how long he's going to be out, so it's one of those things that they're people are donating money to just cover, I guess, any expenses that he got going on, whether he got to go grocery shopping, clothes on his back, if he got kids, clothes on his kids' back, food in their stomach, just overall survival, right? Thousands of dollars have been donated to this guy. You got so many people believing that you are in the hospital fighting for your life. I guess, like, at the time being, when the whole situation that went down, me personally, and I guess, like, if there are people out there that do believe that the situation is staged, I don't believe that this situation is staged, all right? Because you've seen all the, like, leading factors to what had happened. And obviously, Raja Jackson, he definitely has anger issues. He doesn't understand real fighting and wrestling fighting. And that's what I wanted to overall talk on is wrestling. I guess for somebody out there that doesn't really follow wrestling, they don't really know too much about wrestling, but you have heard of this situation between Raja Jackson and Syko. I think that's his name. Hold on for a second. Let me see, just because I don't want to be saying his name incorrectly throughout the situation. So it is Syko Stu. Okay, so anyways, but getting straight on into it, talking on wrestling, you'll see when those guys would do fake punches. Now, yes, there have been at times where wrestlers have accidentally, and I think I had even said that when I had did the last podcast episode, but talking on this situation, but when you see when those wrestlers punch each other, they're usually hitting the wrestler like it's a kind of like an open fist, like it's a soft fist, I guess, like, if I have the best way I can describe it. It's not like hard and like they got their hand tightened up, like, no, their hand is a little bit looser, so when they do hit the person, it's not like a direct, it's going to, like, I guess you're going to feel it, but it's not going to feel like a 6 foot something, 200 plus pound man's hitting you across your neck or across your jaw. But that's another thing, though, is that these wrestlers, they don't hit these guys like across their jaw, like how Raja Jackson was hitting bro across his jaw, Syko Stu. And when you like compare, like, I guess, like, Brock Lesnar, for an example, when you see how he hit wrestlers, I think the only time where he was hitting a wrestler, and the thing is this, them guys got on him about that, and he never did that stunt again. But he did this stunt where it was between him and Randy Orton, and he was giving him elbows across the top of his head, trying to cut him open and stuff. I believe Randy Orton was okay, but still, them guys did not know. So all they just see is a wrestler, former, well, I mean, he was a wrestler turned UFC fighter, turned back wrestler, but all they just see is this guy, a lot bigger than Randy Orton, elbowing him across the top of his head. So one wrestler in particular I remember that said that they approached Brock Lesnar over that was Chris Jericho. He got in Brock Lesnar's face and he let him know about himself, and I guess, like, they almost got into a fight behind it and things, but there was like, but the thing is, a lot of those guys didn't know, so I'm pretty sure a lot of them was wanting to rush out to the ring because they're like, this man done went crazy, because there are at times where wrestlers, they might not have good communication or they might not be cool with the wrestler that they're wrestling, but They are professional. There are a lot of wrestlers out there that are professional enough to know, like, I cannot hurt this guy because I'm not trying to ruin my money. All right. So, and that's, I pay attention to that. Remember that. I'm going to talk about that in a moment, you know. But anyways, but yeah, there was that. And then when you look at guys that are cool with each other, because I really don't know if Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton are cool with each other. I imagine they're cool to an extent. They start in the same year, all that other stuff. But let's think of two wrestlers that are actually, okay, you know what? Two brother wrestlers, Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy. I remember there was a little moment where they had like their rivalry going on and stuff. Do you think that they were really trying to hurt each other? Then again, them guys do be doing some crazy stunts, so maybe they are, but at the same time, that's one thing that you have never seen from them. And even wrestlers like Kane and Undertaker, where they wasn't even real brothers, like they had us all fooled for years. But the thing is this though, you will never see where those two groups of guys, they will never try to kill the other opponent. Raja Jackson was trying to kill Syko Stu. You cannot convince me otherwise. The way that when you see, you can go back and watch an Undertaker versus Kane match. You can watch a Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock match. You can watch, I'm trying to think, Mick Foley and Edge. I'm trying to think of some other wrestlers out there. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. I'm trying to think of some other guys out there. I'm saying you never seen where these guys was over the other wrestler. Yeah, if they were over them, hitting them across their head, you seen where they were loosening up them hits. They wasn't really hitting them across their head like that, especially when they're unconscious. That's one thing that you'll pay attention to in wrestling. When a wrestler is unconscious, the other wrestler won't fool around with them. I think it was like, yeah, maybe back in the day they would, but you see now, if a wrestler knocks themselves out in the middle of the ring, the other wrestler, they see that and they're like, I'm not going to engage. I'm not doing nothing until you let me know that they are okay. But the match is over. All that other stuff, they moving on to the next match. That did not happen. Raja Jackson lifted this man up in the air, slammed him head first into this ring, and proceeded to lay 22 punches across his jaw, neck, and just overall head area. Then that's the thing that my friend was, I guess he didn't see that. And I'm like, yeah, bro, you gonna have to watch that video again and look real. I don't know if you was watching it on a lower resolution, but you gonna have to watch it on the best possible resolution out there. Another thing that I've never seen in wrestling is a wrestler bleeding from their ear. Yeah, if they get like hit in the ear, then it might cut their ear. It wasn't like Syko Stu got cut in his ear or something. No, he was bleeding from his ear, like there was some sort of eternal injury going on within his head. That's something that I've never seen in wrestling before. I've seen where they do like them, and that was what my friend was bringing up too, was the how they wrestlers were bleeding. I'm like, yeah. When you see when them guys be bleeding, they usually get a blade and cut the top of their head, or it's by accident. But I've never seen where a wrestler intentionally, besides that Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton situation, other than that, I've never seen where a wrestler intentionally tries to cause the other opponent to bleed. That's why you see a lot of times now, they don't even really be involved in moves that involves a wrestler's head being, and that's the thing too, if you pay attention just over the years of wrestling, all the crazy stuff, and even to mention this situation, I know it's a pretty dark situation to mention, but anyways, the Chris Benoit situation. It seems like after that, they did not involve any wrestlers getting hit across the head, because yeah, when you go back, I was just watching this video where it was of The Rock and Chris Benoit, where they had like a little rivalry going on. And Chris Benoit was just getting himself he got hit in the head with a chair. He got thrown head first into a soda machine. I'm saying like he was and I'm pretty sure like when he was falling against the mat, but that was just that video. This man was doing a lot of different stunts with his head, and I remember that was a thing they were talking about. It was some wrestler. I think I don't know if he turned into a doctor or what, but I remember it was a wrestler that was sitting down talking with Chris Benoit. He asked Chris Benoit had asked him, how many concussions you think you had over your wrestling career, and I think the guy said like 5 or something like that. He asked Chris Benoit that same question. Chris Benoit said that he lost count after a while. do you know how bad you have to, like, I guess, like, how bad your, like, wrestling move list is, where you're having multiple concussions and you done lost count after a while? And a lot of people believe, and even I believe that myself, that's what led to the tragic situation between him and his family. So it's like, yeah, people, my thing is this. If you're going to talk about wrestling, you have to actually do research. You got to pay attention to that stuff. You got to actually, like, know what you're talking about. But I think that a lot of people, they just see that wrestling stuff and then they just think, oh, all wrestling situations is fake. There have been times, and I will say this much, there have been times where there have been some wrestling situations that have been real. You know, whether it's something that they done said to one another, or these wrestlers done got, yeah, like I said, there's been times where it's like wrestlers done got accidentally done been hit before. For an example, Becky Lynch. There was a time where she got hit. Now, when you see when she had matches with Nia Jax ain't intentionally trying to, like, break this girl's face and stuff. There was a moment where it was like, I think it was a Survival Series. Yeah, it was a Survival Series, because I remember Becky Lynch, she was wearing one of those, like, brand shirts and stuff. So anyways, Becky Lynch had ran right into a mid-swing, like, swinging Nia Jax, shattered her face. I think they did say Becky Lynch, she did get a concussion from that. Now, that was by accident. Nia Jax, mind you, this is a Samoan woman. Okay, this woman, if the times where they be having her in matches, like Tiffany Stratton, I'm trying to think who else, Jade Cargill, who else, Bianca Belair. Nia Jax, in my personal opinion, Nia Jax will put on some real life fighting stuff. She will pulverize those women. All right, like I honestly, because there was the one time where the people still to this day don't know if it was real or not. But there was a time where her and Charlotte Flair, Ric Flair's daughter, had got into it, and you can tell, like, Nia Jax, you could tell that she was definitely in the wrestler mindset. But there was a moment in that match where you could tell, like, yeah, what's her actual government name? The woman behind, yeah, let's just say that, because I don't feel comfortable putting her personal name out there and blast like that. But the woman behind Nia Jax, oh yeah, she definitely came out in that split second and let Charlotte Flair know, like, hey, if I wanted to hurt you, I can. So, like, that's the thing. You don't, it's rare occasions where you see that in wrestling. But that's the thing, though. Them guys also remember that I have a job. Now, this is what I wanted to say about Roger Jackson, because so after this situation, LAPD is looking for him. They're because yeah, charges is most likely going to get filed against him. What else? His Kick account was permanently banned, so he can't stream on Kick no more. My question is this: I guess for those that are thinking that this is fake, why would you ruin your money like that? You know, because my thing is, I can't understand if it's somebody like me faking content, but why would Rampage Jackson's son, Raja Jackson, okay? Rampage Jackson, hold on for a second. Let's just see his net worth. And that most likely ain't even, you know, what he actually has. But they said Rampage Jackson's net worth has been widely reported to be around $45 million. Why would you be faking content when one of your parents is worth $45 million? My thing is this: you obviously you have to work. You know, it's like, it's one of those things. Eventually, it's gonna get to a point where you are gonna have to take care of your parents and stuff. But my thing is this though: you pretty much don't have to do nothing right now. You're chilling, all right? I wish I had a parent that was worth $45 million, because I guarantee and I promise you, fam, I will be living a lavish life. I would not be out here faking content. I have no reason to be faking content. When let's just hold on for a second. Let's just see how many, because his dad is like what, one of the most like well respected known UFC fighters out there. But let's just open up all of his socials: YouTube, Twitter. Let's open up Facebook also, but we are also going to open up his Kick account. Let's see, done starting movies. I'm pretty sure he's still getting residual checks and stuff. But anyways, yeah, let's search up Kick. Okay, Rampage Jackson, 110,000 followers on Kick, 1.1 million followers on Instagram. Let's see, YouTube, 61,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's good. 739,000 followers on Twitter, and I guess thrown in Facebook, 905,000 followers. My thing is this: what reason does he have to fake content when he can? The thing is this: he ain't even got to fake content. There's no reason for him to be faking content. I don't know what his situation is, but I would imagine that if give it until next year, doing more streams with his dad, finding different things to do on stream, getting involved in the gaming scene. I'm saying, like, he could have did a video where it's like, UFC son reviews UFC video games and stuff, or like MMA based video games, and he's playing the games, and he's, because you see where like the military dudes be doing stuff like that. My thing is this: there should be no reason why anybody is faking content, but when you come from a rich one of your parents is rich, but overall you come from a rich family, why are you faking content? That's what I would like to know. So people thinking that he's faking content, you don't fake content like that. You go watch a wrestling match, just a regular old wrestling match. Yeah, AEW comes on today. So probably by the time, do I have any other podcast episodes lined up before? Okay, so I got 2 podcast episodes. So probably by the time, so if I post this, because I did one talking on Darby Allin, I posted that one already, so that one's gonna be for tomorrow, that Friday. So Saturday. So I guess this episode is gonna most likely come out on Saturday. AEW Collision is coming on I guess the night. But if you don't want to watch that, you want to go and watch, even just watch AEW highlights, WWE highlights, TNA Impact highlights, New Japan Pro Wrestling highlights. You probably will come across some moments where them wrestlers was really hitting each other. But that's the thing though, they probably agreed to that and they're cool with it. But my thing is this, and then on top of that, it's like wrestlers that didn't agree. They're like, hey, let's just go out there and have a normal wrestling match. No, like, I know you like to get a little bit physical and get a little violent. I'm not with that. My comfort level hasn't reached that level yet. Maybe after some time, okay, cool. But this is our first match. This is our first interaction ever together. I'm not trying to have it where you're hitting me across my head 22 times, causing blood to come out of my ears. So, and then causing my face to bleed. I think they said, because I didn't even hear about that until after I had did the one podcast episode talking about it. But they said that he was choking on his teeth and blood. Why would you fake that? And that's the thing where it's like, you go back and you watch that video again, there's no way possible that Roger Jackson was faking those hits. The way he was hitting them across his head, no. And then just the way that he was moving, wrestlers have a unique way of like moving when they're pretending to be unconscious and stuff. And you see where even when they're supposedly quote unquote unconscious, they're still covering their head just in case, if I get hit with a straight punch and stuff, at least my head is covered in things. Then when the wrestler gets up off of them, then that's when they go and throw their arms out, make it seem like they unconscious. And then you got it where the referees instead of paramedics and stuff like that, they got it where it's like like some hired referees or some security guards, like wrestlers in training, where they be out there trying to break that stuff up. Fam, they had it where it was the one wrestler, they showed the one wrestler that was trying to get Roger Jackson off of Syko Stu. Roger Jackson had also punched him. I did see where a wrestler, he headbutt Roger Jackson, and I'm like, yeah, bro, that you don't fake that. That's one of those things. And then when you see when wrestlers, when they be breaking up like wrestling, quote unquote wrestling fights, you don't see where them guys be hitting the wrestler, punching them. No, all they doing is just holding them against the corner. So that's why I'm like, so they did do that, but it's like, they're not punching them in the head, headbutting them and all that stuff. So that's why I'm like, bro, people, if you're going to talk about wrestling, you got to know about it. You can't talk about wrestling and not know about it, all right? That's why you don't see me talking about, I'm trying to think, baseball or basketball or football. I do know about those sports, but I know about wrestling more. So, like, that's like if, let's say if Barack Obama, he goes, a crazy scenario, but let's say he goes out running across the field, and I'm trying to think, prime Cam Chancellor done went and shoulder checked Barack Obama, and I'm talking, and they're all like, Barack Obama, he's in the hospital, Cam Chancellor, he's facing all these different charges, and then you guys are hearing me talking about, that's fake. that Barack Obama, his neck being broken in 3 different places. Oh yeah, that's fake. Him not being able to have filling in his arm. Oh yeah, that's fake. It's like, man, look, the thing is this. And to this friend, I'm like, hey, if he does hear this podcast episode, I'm like, fam, watch wrestling. You can't go based off of wrestling that you watched when you was a kid and think like, yeah, wrestling hasn't really changed that much over the years. But my thing is this. You should be able to tell the difference from a whole physical assault and a wrestling match. There is a complete difference, bro. So that's why I'm like, anybody else that's thinking this situation is fake, I'm like, my thing is this. Okay, prove to me that it's fake. Show me proof that it's fake. But if there is no proof, you're just going based off of your own opinion, fam, we can't go based off of that. At the end of the day, that's what it's going to be classified as, your own opinion. But on some real life stuff, like, you're going to have to show proof. You're going to have to show facts. But if there ain't no proof or facts, I guarantee and I promise you, it's you guys are going to be the only small group of people in this world that believe that situation is fake. So anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.